Hey guys, welcome to UKPM Survival and Outdoors here on YouTube, and thanks for joining me in the latest UK Prepper Man video. If this is the first time you've stumbled across my channel, then welcome. It's all about prepping, survival and all that jazz. So if you do enjoy this video, don't forget to check out the rest of the content on the channel. If you like what you see, please like, share and subscribe. Hey folks, thanks for joining me in the latest video. The sun is shining, the birds are singing, and we are at our MOS meet here in Derbyshire. It's great to be here. It's great to see so many people are starting to arrive. We will be doing a course of demos this week in the shelter behind me. Of course, we'll be asking the people what demos they want to see, because it's all about you guys at the end of the day, not us, okay? It's about bringing people together as a community, sharing and swapping ideas. It's not about big egos and big I ams, right? So it's so many times. There's right ways and wrong ways to organise these sorts of meets. It's about bringing people together, and it's about encouragement, not criticism, all right? So we'll be doing demos this week, and hopefully everybody will be getting involved in those. So I'm going to take you along, and I hope you enjoy the video.
Welcome people. Like I said, second meet for the MOS here. So we've got more people turning up. The idea was to help you lot out with kind of anything you wanted to know. So it doesn't matter what it is: bugging in, bugging out, first aid, NBC, water purification, wilderness survival, stuff like that. And we just kind of had an idea a few years ago, and we just said, do we reckon we could do it? Thought about it and said, well, there's only one way to find out. Let's just do it. Some people are just set in their ways, and we're like, well, no, let's try something new. And it seems to work. That's what you lot want. Yeah, navigation's a good one. Yeah, sorted. I've seen it. Who said foraging? Good man. Sorted foraging. That we can do.
Fire, navigation, foraging. You'll have to excuse my spelling.
Water. Obviously, we can't survive without it. It's one of those things we all got to have. And whether you're deciding to bug in, whether you're doing a mix of bugging in, moving out, or whether you're just deciding you're going to bug out and be done with it, you know, water's water. You've all got to have it. So there's pros and cons in water. You know, I mean, we can go with light stuff because it's got nothing in it, and I can gather it as long as I've got a water source I know on my way. I can pick it up. It's relatively light. If you're at home, you're going to store it. And obviously these things weigh. You can't compress water in any single way whatsoever, so it's always going to be exactly the same size as it is at the end of the day. So for us that are going to decide to bug in or hunker down or stay at home, whatever you want to call it, ultimately most of us will do that at some point. So if shit hits the fan and you're deciding to bug out, you're likely to go home in the first place to grab your gear if you haven't got it with you. But you can go to something quite sizable like this one down here. So it's totally up to you, but what you've got to try and think of is who's going to be handling the water. Now, it may well be that you're happy with that and your missus is happy with that, your partner's happy with this sort of stuff, that's fine. If you want to go for the bigger ones, again, you know, you've got to be able to handle it and not waste it. So I always go with these ones, top these ones up. The thing is, with water, you've got to store it correctly. There is no expiry date on water, so to speak. When you see a expiry date on this sort of stuff, it's the packaging, not the water. All right. Now, it's not to say that you store this and it gets a year past the date and the water's going to be fine inside it. Yeah, it'll probably be okay, but what it is, it's the plastic starts leaching into the water itself. All right. Correct? Yeah. So you might want to then filter some stuff at home. As Roger has already pointed out, you could get something like this. And if you've got one person in your house, not a problem. You get 2 people in the house, you might want to do something like Roger's done again, as you start divvying up the water. That is your water allotment for the day. Multiple people in the house, obviously you're not going to give that to a child. I would then allocate a certain amount of these to a child for a day and then drip feed it to them. Now, as I said, storing is one of these things that it's going to take up space. The ideal place for water is cool, dark, and left alone. So at the back of a cupboard where it's a relatively level temperature, there isn't like massive fluctuations up and down. If you can keep it cool, fantastic. If you can keep it out of any light whatsoever, even better. It will last a lot longer. The water purification tablets that Roger's got here are 5 litre ones. So you put one of those in there and that'll do everything in that. For most of us that are on the go, we carry the 1 litre ones. So it depends on what you want, but these are... Has anyone ever tried these? No? Roger has, yeah. Thoughts on it? What did you think?
Lovely.
Yeah, it's got a chemical taste to it. It really has. All right, it's going to clean it. You're going to be able to drink from it, and you know it's not the nicest. So, looking after your water would be more beneficial than keep using these all the time. If you've never tried it, I would suggest you just getting some of those tablets, just giving it a go. It's a novel experience if you don't need to do it, because you'll suddenly understand why you don't really want to use them if you don't have to. Another water storage thing, we talked about this yesterday for whoever hasn't been here or wasn't here yesterday. 35 quid. It's a one-use thing, but it does give you 100 gallons. So if you're on the ball, before your water gets switched off, whack that in your bath, and you've got yourself a load of water that's usable. So I've got several different water kits that we carry in our bags from different members. Here we go. Okay, so 1 tablet to actually do the purification, 1 tablet to neutralize the flavor. So you can, if you want, most of us just carry these and put up with the flavor. All right, because it's another thing to have to carry. You know, it's again, if you're at home, maybe this is an option. Once you've done your water at home and you've massively calculated how much you need, you'll be shocked at how much you've got to store for 72 hours just for, say, a family of 4. It's a ludicrous amount of water that you've got to hold. So at that point, it would be probably beneficial for you to understand your local area. Now, for me personally, I have several different maps of the local area, and I've marked on those maps where I can get water from, whether it be a natural spring or streams or rivers. Unfortunately, I'm dead centre of a town, so I've got to move out to a certain degree to be able to gather. Obviously, if you're at home, you can have the lovely luxury of having water butts, ponds. You know, they're all things that hold water. You're just going to have to filter it, purify it before you're going to want to do anything with it, all right? But it's having the water there in the first place. You've got to get it to be able to use it. It's great having all of these filtration things, but what's the point if you haven't actually got the water in the first place? At that point, you've done your home stuff, you've got all your water at home, that's not a problem, and you've ended up having to move on for whatever reason, whether it be that it was part of your plan and you've moved before actually having to, or whether you've been forced out of your home and you have to go. You're not going to be carting along litres and litres and litres of water because your kit's heavy enough as it is. And even if you've got a light kit, you still don't want to be carrying 3 or 4 litres of water with you, because that's 3 or 4 kilos for you to have to carry, all right? Personally, I carry one of these full up. I have an empty bottle, which is sitting over there. So this would be my dirty water bottle. That'd be my clean water bottle. So everybody knows how a filter works? Yeah? Yeah, everybody's nodding, that's good. Right, so ideally you want to be able to obviously scoop dirty water up, whether it be through a bottle, one of these lovely bags, all right? But you don't want to be drinking out of that because it's dirty water, even if it's being filtered or purified, because you're going to get cross-contamination. So the idea is to have an empty bottle to be able to then obviously put your purified or your filtered water into, drink from that. So you have a dirty and a clean container, so to speak. Right, so water filters. I'm sure you've all seen one of these, all right? And I'm sure everybody goes, yeah, I probably wouldn't buy one of those. They're doable, all right? They're bare minimum. And you know, if you wanted to kit out your family and they're not into prepping in any way whatsoever, buy a shit ton of these and just literally chuck them in their bags for them, and they've got something. You don't end up having to spend an absolute fortune on a filter when you can get one of these for a tenner. All right. You then can go down the routes of ad hoc filters. So these are basically the same as the Sawyers, but they're not Sawyer. So obviously they all have the same sort of process in the fact that you would connect that to a bottle once you filled it, and then you can drink from it if you want. Personally, again, I don't like doing that because whatever the bottle is you've got there, if that's wet, you would like to get cross-contamination that will run down here, get in your mouth, and you don't really want it. The idea is to get clean drinking water. If you don't have any other option, then that is what you've got to do. But my recommendation at that point is to use your t-shirt, use something to dry the bottle best you possibly can of any water that you've just picked up off the ground. All right. That's basically a Sawyer rip-off. Works absolutely fine. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. Lee, you got this one, wasn't it? All right.
Put myself at risk for me for work.
There you go. The man is committed. Right. Now, the one thing that Sawyer, being an American company, will advertise, and I'm sure you've all seen, is they connect nicely to a smart water bottle. They do not in this country. The threads are different. So if you're thinking, oh great, I'll grab a load of smart water bottles, which is what I did, and then I tried to connect it to it and was quite narked off that I just bought a load of water that I didn't really want, and now I can't use it with the water filler, you can buy one of these. It's a little adapter, and then that works fine. So just to prove it, that screws on there, that screws on there. Suddenly it works, but beforehand, not a chance. The threads are so far different. I'm sure you can see the difference in that. Yeah, that's just not going to screw onto it. So you're at that point at the mercy of the bag that they give you. So that's the bag it comes with. All right, it's not particularly nice to handle. They do end up splitting. Lee's had one split. You've had multiple split. There you go. But that's obviously designed to fit on there. The downside with these, you got a very, very small neck, and you got to try and fill that up. It doesn't want to fill up easy. So you can then swap out if you want, upgrade, get rid of. That's what a Sawyer squeeze looks like, just so your understanding of it. Comes, all of these will come with a filter system which is designed to flush it back through, so then you can clean it out. All right. So you can get one of these lovely little jobbies. They're quite flexible. What we would class now as a wide mouth container, easier to scoop up water with. That is a pain in the backside, but you know, that's what they supply you with. Does everybody know what this is?
Millbank bag.
No, this is a Millbank bag. Lovely. So Millbank bag is designed for filtering out sort of big particles. All right. So again, if you've got some sort of water that you're trying to get, whether it be running water, ideally, but you might not have that option. So if you're scooping from water, with whatever container you've got, you can scoop solely with this, but you'd have to be relatively quick. The idea is then to fill it up with water, hang it from a tree, a limb, hold it, whatever you need. Obviously, water in it would hold it still. And it'll drip from the lowest point. And then you put that into your container, preferably your dirty water container, and then you can filter it from that point onwards. Now, you might not even have a filter. So at that point, you're looking at boiling. All right, so when you come with bottles, I would recommend never putting a double-skinned bottle in a fire. Not all, most cups will come with a little lid. So the lid's not necessarily designed to make it boil faster. What it is designed to do is to keep shit out of it. So when you've got it in the fire and it's boiling, you don't want bits and bobs floating around and landing on top of it. Put the lid on it. That's all I'd say. All right. So you've got there all of these lovely little bits and bobs you can use, which has been lovely donated. Thank you very much. I shall hold on to this. I'd cherish it. Thank you. So it's a gravity fed system, very similar to what you would do with the millbank bag, except for it is actually a filter system. So you would fill it up, you'd hang it up, you'd let gravity do its thing. So you'd connect this to the bottom. You've got an inline filter by the look of it as well. And then you can then filter large amounts on the go. So another handy thing to have. But what you got to remember is when you're moving, depending on what your plan is, depends on how far you're going, depends on what you're having to carry. It's all gonna, the bigger the stuff takes more space in your pack. It might be heavier, you know, you just got to factor that sort of stuff in. So you can have bottles like this. You can go down the routes of having some lovely stuff like this. All right, comes nesting cup. And then you get into your proper filters, your decent ones. All right, so this is a Survivor 58. If you can get hold of one of these, you're doing well. Buy it. Doesn't matter what the price is. Exactly the same. And this is squishy. Squishy is the key thing. I would love to have one of these, and Roger has nicely donated it to me, so I shall keep this now. But for the average person, I would recommend getting something like this. All right, a water to go bowl. This is very, very similar to this section in the fact that it has a filter on the top. If you can get hold of one of these are squishy, and they are 1 litre. So this fits perfectly onto that. So suddenly you've just maxed out from 750 to 1 litre, and it's a lot more usable for my other half. She can now use this without having too many issues. And added bonus, fits perfectly in my cup. So it's not as if I've got to buy any other gear for it. I'm just swapping the bottle ultimately. Now with these, you can buy the filters separate. So if you're going to get one of these, I would recommend grabbing a couple of filters as well. Somewhere between 25 and 35 quid, depending on who's selling it and how many people are buying them at the time. Because obviously supply and demand, everybody wants to up their price and make a bit more profit. If you can get them, and you can get them at like 25 quid, you can get 2 for that. So when it comes down to water filters, you just move along the line, and then you start getting to some more expensive stuff. This is lovely, been donated to me by Mitch, so I'm going to keep this one as well. Yeah, so the Grail, very, very good. Now the one thing you're going to have with all of your water filters, unless you can walk up to a water supply and put your bottle underneath it, is being able to get hold of some water. Now, what was it, early part of the year, I was out on Dartmoor. I took this out for its first proper trial run and found myself camping overnight at a quarry. Great, it looked absolutely fantastic. Water everywhere, apart from the fact I couldn't get to it without actually having to go into it because it was a proper drop. So you might end up having to think outside the box a little bit. So what I did was, because it was relatively rough weather, I'd got some waterproofs with me. I took the bottom pull toggle and wrapped around the bottle. At that point, I got that much I can lower it down into the water, pick it up, haul it back out. I haven't fallen in. I don't have to try and climb out then, and it's up and running. Is that a stainless steel one, is it?
They don't do stainless, they do it's titanium.
Oh, is it titanium, is it?
Yeah.
Right, I thought it was stainless.
Titanium, but the stainless steel mug.
Oh, right.
That's about. You can see how big it is, and you need a big tank.
Yeah. Oh, well, I think actually, yeah, I think that's the same as that one, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, so there we go. Thank you very much, sir. Yeah. They do actually do a stainless steel one. I swear it's stainless steel.
I know they do a titanium one. Didn't think they did a
because this section here that you're pushing down into, you can pop that in the fire.
Yeah, I think it's titanium.
Yeah. Oh, is it titanium? All right. Well, it's metal one way or the other. So yeah. 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 Well, this is it. It's stupid expensive. So sometimes you just got to think outside the box with your filtration sort of systems, in the fact that it's not going to be as easy as you always think. So that's why I always go out and test all my stuff. I recommend everybody do exactly the same. I keep all my water kit, I keep in a little dry bag. But the problem with that is, obviously, if it stays in there and it's wet, it's going to start going mouldy, and I don't want that. So hence why I have the mesh bag to be able to hang it outside. Again, it's thinking outside the box a little bit and thinking a little more deeply into what you've got here, because you need that to work for you, and you need it to work for you all the time. But yeah, that's water. Can't think of anything else to say. All right, done, dusted.
Hi guys, so we just stopped by to have a chat with Leigh from the Bug Out. Leigh, how you doing? You okay?
Chris, yeah, good. Yeah, good to see you.
Great
Yeah.
to be here.
Yeah,
It's nice to be. What do you think of it so far?
brilliant. Yeah, really good. Yeah, and really good meat. And it's great getting everybody together, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
I think it's what we say. It's about the community, isn't it?
Definitely.
It's built
Yeah.
something forward.
Yeah.
So for guys, for those of you who don't know, Leigh runs the Bug Out over in Wales, and it's worthwhile visiting, especially if you're looking at stopping up on any prepping or survival related kit. For those of you who don't know about it, Leigh, tell us a bit about the Bug Out.
Yeah, so Bug Out's 5 years old now, and yeah, anything you need for prepping and survival, basically, is at the Bug Out. If it's not there, it's not worth getting. That's what I would say. And yeah, and like Chris said, we're at the meet at the moment, and quite happy to bring the shop along. And it's been fantastic, to be fair. Yeah, really good. People come to a shop, especially like the Bug Out. It's a physical shop, not just online. Yeah. So people like to come and look at the stuff and feel it, and experience the equipment before actually buying it. Yeah, that's what I like about the Bug Out shop.
But of course, the thing is, if people are not sure what to do, I mean, you've got enough experience that you can give the advice of what sort of fit. Isn't it?
That's it. Amazon doesn't do that, does it?
It doesn't indeed.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
But and of course, it's not just the shop that you have. You also do the survival courses.
That's right.
Yeah. As well. Have you got sort of things coming up at the moment? For
We've got one in September, which is the bugging out and prepping course, which is always a popular one. So that's 2-day course run by Tom Blakey, First in Events, Prepared Pathfinder. So what he does, the first day is running through everything to do with prepping and survival, right? Teach you about bug out bags, skills, equipment, and all that sort of stuff. And then there's an exercise then, which is a mock bug out. So people bring their bug out bags after they're talking through it. They grab their bags and we take them on a bit of a trek, a couple of miles.
Yeah.
And like a mock bugging out scenario. Camping out overnight, then using their kit and equipment. And then they're rudely awakened in the morning, let's just say that, by someone. And then they bug out of that situation and go back then to the home base. And then we have a debrief and a bit of a crossbow competition and all that. So yeah, it's a really good course. Yeah.
Brilliant. And all those things are on your website.
On the website, yeah.
Okay, guys, I'm going to put the link below so you can go and check out the Bug Outs online.
Yeah. And so it's not just a shop for gear. We do the courses as well to teach you how to use it.
That's brilliant.
So yeah, that's what it's all about.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed yourself, Leigh.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah.
Don't forget to check out the website, folks, and get yourselves booked on the courses.
All the best.
Well, that worked well. Yeah, there is no denying that. Wow. Yeah, most definitely.
Thank you, Leigh, from the Bug Out.
Thank you, Leigh. That went very well. I'm very, very impressed.